Hi everyone, welcome to the first video in the Shine On curriculum, Introduction to NASA and Introduction to Space. My name's Megan.
My name's Taylor.
And my name's Samantha. So NASA stands for the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. NASA is America's space program and the global leader in space exploration and aeronautic research by developing and improving air travel like electric propulsion and supersonic flight. NASA studies Earth, including our climate, our sun, our solar system, and beyond by advancing technology, science, and engineering to new heights.
So what is space? Space is everything that we can touch, feel, sense, measure, or detect. It includes living things, planets, stars, galaxies, dust clouds, light, and even time. The universe contains billions of galaxies, which each contain millions or billions of stars. The space between the stars and galaxies is mostly empty. It would take a modern jet fighter more than 1 million years to reach the nearest star to the sun. It takes about 3 Earth days to get to the moon, and it took the Perseverance rover 7 months to get to Mars.
Earth is a big place. If you could drive around the entire planet, it would take more than 16 days of non-stop driving at highway speeds. But compared to some of the planets in our solar system, it's pretty small. We often see planets displayed as similar in size, like this, to make details on smaller planets easier to see. In reality, the size of planets compared to each other looks more like this. Even though this shows the sizes of planets accurately, they aren't that close together. Because of the great distances between planets and the planet's relatively small sizes compared to those distances, it's practically impossible to create a visual representation on a screen or the page of a book that realistically represents the sizes of the planets and the distances between them. As a result, the best we can usually do is show the accurate sizes of the planets or the accurate distances between the planets. Remember, they aren't really lined up like this. In space, the planets' positions are constantly changing as they revolve around the sun.
So stop and think to yourself, what is a planet in our solar system?
Now that you've had a chance to think about our solar system, let's talk about the International Space Station. So the International Space Station is an orbiting space laboratory. It orbits 260 miles above our Earth at speeds of 5 miles per second or 17,500 miles per hour. With 16 rotations in a day, astronauts see 16 sunrises and 16 sunsets. The walls are covered in technology and science experiments. The International Space Station is 1 yard short of the length of a football field at 357 feet. And fun fact, 8 spaceships can be docked at one time.
Whoa. Dear Tim and Moby, what is the International Space Station? From Tracy. Oh, we just saw some of its crew take off. The International Space Station is a space exploration and research platform. It's orbiting more than 200 miles above us right now. One of the coolest things about it is that it's, well, international. 16 countries joined up to build it. Belgium, Brazil, Canada, Denmark, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, the Netherlands, Norway, Russia, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, the United Kingdom, and the United States all lent a hand. It's about the size of a football field and has a mass of more than 400,000 kilograms. Well, no rocket can lift all that weight, so it was put together piece by piece. The first parts of the ISS were launched back in 1998, the Russian-built Zarya cargo block and the American Unity node. The Zarya was originally all there was, so it housed everything from guidance, propulsion, and electrical equipment to 2 large solar arrays. Today, it's used mostly for storage. Unity was designed as a large connecting dock, and that's how it's still used. Next up was the Russian Zvezda service module in 2000. Zvezda provides life support systems and living quarters for 2 people. A bunch of other parts were added later, including some trusses or connecting structures, the U.S. Destiny Laboratory, and the Canadian Canadarm2, a huge robotic arm that helps build and maintain the ISS. Yeah, after the breakup of the Space Shuttle Columbia in 2003, construction to the ISS was seriously delayed. Plans for some modules had to be scrapped, but flights to the station resumed after a few years. In 2008, the Kibo, or Japanese Experiment Module, and the European Columbus Research Module were added. And in 2009, the last of the big 4 solar arrays was connected. Currently, astronauts come and go in shifts of 6 months or so. There's no air up there, so they have to bring their own. It's supplied by a generator that splits water molecules into hydrogen and oxygen. Since the end of the American shuttle program in 2011, astronauts have relied on Russian spacecraft to reach the station. The station is now complete after many years of effort. Rotating crews of astronauts are living on board, handling repairs, and performing experiments. Well, many of the experiments have to do with low gravity conditions. On the Earth's surface, we feel a pretty strong force of gravity. It's what keeps us from flying off into space. On the space station, it's less than 1/1,000,000th of that, so scientists call it microgravity. Experiments run on the station help us understand gravity's role in biological, chemical, and physical processes. And, just as important, we're learning the ins and outs of living and working in space. This will pave the way for future space stations, piloted space missions, and maybe even colonies on other planets. Yeah, me too, Moby. Hey! Good luck up there!
Okay, so now take a second and turn and talk to someone next to you. Teachers, you can pause this video. Would you want to live on the International Space Station? What cool things do you think you would see up there? And what would you miss most about Earth?
So who is there? The ISS is an international collaboration. NASA is American, Roscosmos is Russian, CSA is Canadian, JAXA is Japanese, ESA is European, and the Expedition 65 will be going up this month. We'll be talking to Shane Kimbrough, Thomas Pasquette, Megan MacArthur, and Akihiko Hoshide.
So as we mentioned, the ISS is a space science laboratory. The astronauts there are trained to conduct experiments in biology, human physiology, technology, earth and space science, and physical science. The astronauts themselves are floating experiments to teach us the long-term effects of space travel on the body.
So now it's time to create your own exoplanet. We're going to watch a quick video to see what that is.
That has living things on it. But could there be others? Do planets outside our solar system, called exoplanets, also have living things? We don't know, but NASA scientists are looking. They watch the starry skies for planets similar to Earth, ones that are about the same size, that are just the right distance from their star. We call this distance the habitable zone. It's where the temperature of the planet would be similar to Earth. A planet about this temperature could have liquid water on its surface. Water is necessary for life here on Earth, and it is probably necessary for life on other planets too. We don't know what living things on other planets would look like, and they might be so small they could only be seen with a microscope. So how do we find planets that could be homes for living things? We look at stars. We watch other stars closely to see planets pass in front of them. When a planet crosses in front of a star, it's called a transit. The planet blocks a small amount of light from the star. we can see a very small change in the star's brightness. This is how we can tell there could be a planet there. A NASA spacecraft called Kepler has found thousands of exoplanets this way. Future missions will be searching too. And who knows, maybe one of those exoplanets could be a home for living things. Find out more about other stars and exoplanets at NASA Space Place.
So now that you know what an exoplanet is, you can take a minute and make your own. When you do that, think about these questions. Is your planet made of gas, ice, water, solid land, or a mix? What type of habitat does your planet have? What color is your planet, and why is it that color? Can your planet sustain life? So can there be plants? Can there be animals? Can there be people? And finally, what type of climate does your planet have? Is it cold? Is it hot? Is it rainy? What you're going to do is you're going to just cut out a piece of paper, a circle, and then decorate it however you want. This is my planet. I named it Planet Stitch because it's blue. It is a gas giant, kind of like Jupiter. So that means that it's totally made of gas. There's no solid land on it. And because of it, no life can live there. There can't be people. There can't even be plants because it's just gas. They would fall right through. And because it's made of gas, it is very, very cold. And that's also why it's blue. So make your own planet and then share it with a neighbor.
If you could ask an astronaut anything, what would you ask? As your teachers may have already told you, before May 6th, you'll be able to submit your own questions to the astronauts aboard the ISS. These questions should be open-ended, which means that they are not yes or no questions. The astronauts will explain their answers during the downlink. Some questions could look like, what do you miss most about Earth? And what did you pack to bring with you?
Thank you so much for watching our video. We hope that you learned a little bit more about space, a little bit more about NASA and space exploration, and that you continue to watch our videos and learn more in the following weeks. Bye.
Bye.